actual yoga practice, you said it reinforces the deity practice.
Mm-hmm.
And so how does the yoga practice reinforce the deity practice, Rinpoche?
The way it reinforces the deity practice is basically our body is combination, let's say, combined of the few elements, Sa, Chu, Melung.
Yeah.
So our whole physical level, in the physical form, we have a channel. So we have a channel, but our channel has a lot of knot, the subtle knot, not necessarily like an X-ray machine can scan it.
Yes.
Because if you can, scan the subtle channel, that means you can recognize where the nature of the mind is at that stage already. But so therefore, the subtle channel is simply a phrase from my understanding, rather than the existence of the channel in our body. So that's the first thing that you have to understand. Many people, they are very attached to this idea of I have chakra here, I have chakra here, I have chakra here, I have a channel over here, my right channel. Cha Uma, Cha Roma, and Changma. The color looks like this, that shape looks like that. It is placed over here from the bottom, placing upwards. That's where the heat comes, that's where the bliss comes. Yeah. It's great to have that ambition to learn and to study, but over the time you have to let go of that. Over the time you have to just simply live with the experience. So what I'm trying to explain is that we breathe 21,000, knowing or without knowing. So what the yoga does is that you do all the yoga posture and practice. What you do is that from the physical aspect and the mental aspect combined together, is that you purify the negative air into a positive air. Now, negative air doesn't mean that to make you unhappy all the time and aggressive and emotional. It doesn't mean that. Negative in this stage, it simply means absent from the clarity. So the positive air or the wisdom air, Yishikilung, is simply known as people think too much about how the wisdom air feels like and all that. None of it matters if you don't practice. The theory is good, but the practice matters combined together. So you have to, by untying the channel, then the air and the essence that passing through becomes more accessible. As the essence that it becomes more accessible throughout the channel, and then our mind, to be in the state of clarity, the potential is far more greater. Therefore, it is reinforcing the deity practice. Because I practice Siksa Mahakala, Chakra Sambhara, as 5 tantric deities. And then I did practice before the yoga, and I tested, not intentionally, but by accident, before and after yoga. And after yoga, when I practice deity, it tends to bring far more clarity. Because what you do with the yoga practice is that the first few sequence, what it does is that it releases the adrenaline, in your body. Just by the 7 times of different movement, it releases adrenaline. And then over the time, somewhere in the middle sequence, then you tend to develop a blissful experience. And then if you're a practitioner, you turn that blissful experience into non-duality state of mind. And if you're not a Buddhist practitioner, then you just simply enjoy that. And that's my idea and the trick to bring people to Buddhism more.
So Rinpoche, these postures at the beginning are releasing this adrenaline.
Yes.
Right? Probably give you a lot of clarity in a way, actually.
I wouldn't say clarity, I would say just adrenaline. It just brings, like an example, you're worried about a lot of things, you're thinking about a lot of things. Like my personal example is that you're passing through the subway, somebody insulted you for no reason, doesn't know who you are, doesn't know that how great master I am, and insulted me. And I was like, okay, And then, as I was sitting in my friend's studio, his artist sculpture studio, when I was sitting in that studio, and I was thinking, how come this person insulted me, to me? If it happens in Asia, oh my goodness, it's beyond imagination, And then, of course, you have that kind of a discomfort thoughts, isn't it? Like you have an ego, you have attachment. And then after I start doing the exhale, inhale yoga, and all of that thought, vaporize right away after like 7, 8, sequence of the same posture. So that's what it does. So at the first stage, it blocks everything away from all the subtle or ordinary fixation. Like an example, he said that, she said that, I have to do this, I have to do that. So the first beginning of the few sequence, that kind of vaporize all of that distraction. And then, only at the middle stage of the sequence, then the clarity start to appear, only at that time, not in the beginning.
Okay, and then the bliss will come with the clarity?
The bliss will come with the clarity combined together, somewhere around the end.
Yeah.
Because at the end sequence is more to do with how to dispel the agitation, anger, and the attachment and desire. So these are seen as a subtle cleansing.
Yeah.
So the first stage is seen as a physical form cleansing.
Yeah.
Second stage is more to do with untying the channel knots and purifying the essence and all. And then the third stage is being able to experience the subtle, such as our negative emotions, to the point of non-existence, at least at that stage of practice.